Okay.
So, yeah, I missed this one.
I'm gonna keep an eye on my email in case anyone is trying to get in and we can use
Okay.
this. Meeting.
Okay, so we're gonna open the meeting at 6:05. Meeting is being recorded, correct? And, we'll start off with. Do we have the minutes on yet?
I'm going to right now.
Okay.
We're having an admin assistant start next week.
Okay,
So
cool.
we'll be back at full staff.
Okay, new business.
It's just on the agenda. This new
Okay,
agenda
so
for
nothing
there.
really going. Okay, 35 Cape Road, previous site plan review decision correction.
So this is from our last meeting. Where there was a previous site plan from 2024 that needed correcting. I gave you guys a motion sheet to explain what we need to do, so. Unconflicted member can make a motion to reconsider that vote. We can make that vote following this motion sheet.
Okay. Oh,
One of the unconflicted members, you want to do that first. If you're so inclined, you know, make the decision.
all right, so. The motion sheet is.
This is first one up here. So I'm going to put the number needs to be.
Okay, so that would be Barry or Fran or Jay.
Make a motion to reconsider the vote of June 16, 2026 to make corrections to previous site plan review decision. Given the legal defects in the previous vote. Because there was an absent member who did not have a conflict of interest. There's second.
And then, if we do have a second on that vote, and then we can go through the conflicts and then take that vote out.
I'll second.
Okay,
Not going to take the vote yet.
no, then I, Dan Antonio, am recusing myself from the matter due to my conflict of interest. Conflict of interest is that I own the property that is in question.
And I, Eric Hodge, am recusing myself from this matter due to my conflict of interest, which is that I am an abutter of an abutter.
And then we need somebody to preside over this specific matter. So another unconflicted member, you can decide on somebody to chair the little portion here.
The unconflicted member, I make a motion.
I make a motion to elect,
No. I'm sorry.
Frankly, yourself.
you want to be
Only for 2 seconds.
Barry Adirola to be acting chair for this hearing due to Damon Tinio's conflict of interest in this matter. Okay.
Second.
All right, Barry, you're up, acting chair.
All right, I'll call for the vote for the motion on the table.
Take a vote on the acting chair.
Okay.
All in favor? Then a vote, he seconded it.
Good with Barry.
I don't think I can vote, I recuse myself.
From the meeting, not from this stuff.
So now Barry is going to call for the.
I'll call for the vote for the motion on the table.
Second.
And then.
Aye.
Refuse yourself.
I recuse myself.
Okay, so we have 3 to reconsider. Now we have to actually take the vote. So, one of the conflicted members, that last thing is the actual motion that we made last time, but we didn't have this procedure, so.
Make a motion to make corrections to the decision document issued for 35 Cape Road on September 17th, 2024, in order to accurately reflect that a site plan review was approved and not a special permit.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I'm gonna recuse, we can vote on this now, right?
Yeah, you abstain.
Abstain.
Good with that now?
Yeah,
I'll have
okay.
the,
That's done and over with.
yeah. I have the document, you can sign it as you.
Now, 35 Cape Road, we're gonna move on to this hearing. And is there a, was it in the paper?
Yes.
Okay, so do we have,
Yeah, so if we start, we're gonna go through that whole motion sheet again, it's a little worse, but make it nice and legal, worse than that one. And so we'll get to the point where we open the hearing.
okay, so that's here. We're gonna stop this now, right? I, David Tenio, am recusing myself from this hearing due to the conflict of interest. Owner of the property that's in question, and I consulted the Massachusetts State Ethics Commission before this hearing. If desired, include any info you.
Right.
Da, 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 da.
And town council has recommended that you meet with the.
Yep.
And Eric,
Are we allowed to ask about clarifications on that?
so
Damon, are you still the owner of that
Yes.
property? Okay. Thank you. I, Eric Hodge, have a conflict of interest due to, again, being in a butter to that property. I have also consulted the Massachusetts State Ethics Commission for this hearing, whereby I spoke with an attorney there, and determined myself to be in conflict. Yes, do I read the part about acting impartially until we establish the need to act impartially?
you would say that you would.
Okay, I intend to act impartially on this matter and make an unbiased decision for any votes.
Okay, unconflicted member.
And I will make a motion to elect Barry Irola to be the acting chair for this hearing due to Chair David Tenio's conflict of interest in this matter.
So we need a second on that.
I'll second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Staying.
Abstain.
I, Barry Irola, make it known that this board lacks a sufficient number of members necessary to take a valid vote. In this matter, due to multiple conflict of interest was notified to previous speakers. David Tenio and Eric Hodge, because this board has a legal obligation to act, and there's no other entity that can act on behalf of this board in this matter, we are invoking the rule of necessity as a last resort. Our constitutional consultant agrees that the rule of necessity must be invoked for this hearing. Voting members will consist of named Jason, Frank, myself, as well as Eric Hodge. Step.
You can come up front if you want to sit right here, sir.
It stated that he will act impartial.
Yeah, they're here, but I don't know how good they are. Sit up here. if you want.
Just when you're having slow down, he sounds like a moan.
According with MGL Chapter 48, amended planning board to hold a public hearing on July 13th, 2026, amended town hall, 20 Main Street, Mendon, Mass, at 6 p.m. for a special permit, site plan review, and stormwater permit submitted by Mark Cutler regarding 35 Cape Road, parcel 14-14-35, owner of record, Hartford East Corporation, for the construction of a 22,250 square foot mixed office warehouse building.
So it's recommended things that you are not.
Recommend that I'm not in the room. Eric as well. I can't vote on, whatever, how do you vote the necessity to?
It is, it's a vote.
But how is Damon to make
As I
a
stated, Eric
vote?
Hodge is voted that he's going to act impartial. Eric stays.
Eric stays, I leave. You go home?
I think.
Come back after.
I don't even get to sit out there?
We'll have a cup of coffee.
Oh. Oh,
So many little stuff.
You're out. All right, Mark, what do you got?
That I like.
So basically, we're looking to, I guess if you guys have seen the other site plan, we're looking to build a building similar to the one that's there. We're making it a little bit smaller. We are doing more office. So you guys, I don't know, I have a construction company, obviously in Milford now. So we're looking basically to the front section, gonna be all office space. The building space is gonna be broken up in 4 sections. I'm gonna own the front section. I'm partnering with my plumber, Doug Brown. He's gonna own the second section. We're gonna develop the building. And turn what we do in the back two sections. We'd like to either sell them, condo them, or hold them and lease them out.
Got a plan you want to submit?
Yeah.
We can review it real quick.
Yeah.
Take a look at it, see what we got.
What the banks that were. Know which one? This one?
Yes, so that's the site plan. Basically, from the other building that was there, we shortened the building with 400 feet now instead of 410. We jogged it back in a couple of different spots too. So, in the back section, basically we cut every section into 50-foot tranches instead of 65. We changed the direction of the roof. But the building's in the exact same footprint as the other one you guys approved. We just made it smaller in the back section. We shortened it up by 10 feet also. The parking's the same as what was there before. We're putting it's changing the drainage. You put an underground basin where it was an open basin before, primarily so that has some place to plow snow. It was all fencing around it. It was really no place to put anything. That's basically, so not much has changed from the site plan at all. But still, we get the access around the back. Like I said, we moved in the front building with the storage space for utilities on the front of the building and behind the building, so it's straight on the front. That's basically it for the site plan. I think there should be easy to click through it, a couple renderings of the building itself. And just roll through, there's a couple that's open exterior. Yeah, so we can roll this up and all, but that view is from the Bay Street side. Basically, we added some garage doors in the back. We have windows on the front building, some windows on the middle section too. And just, two small pictures in the front. One of the windows is the one facing Cape Road. The other one to the right, that's the rear facing one. And then the last section, this is from the soccer fields. So basically, it was all warehouse before. We put offices up in the front. The second section is all warehouse. The third section there with the windows, we're kind of keeping that as some flex space. That's why we put windows in there. Just give us a little more flexibility. Dealing with it. Back section, we just did all garage space. Rendering's not very good. Yeah, it didn't work as well as it could have, so. But it's gonna be our office building, we're gonna make it, it's gonna be pleasing. We want, it's where we work, everything there, so I live right down the street too, so. For fun, plan on dressing it up, and definitely have it dressed up, the whole front section, so.
We got the stormwater calculations over the race.
Upgrades yet, we're just waiting for the applicant to give us.
Yeah, we got the supplemental, we just didn't have get it in time, so we will submit it. We figured the meeting would get continued, so, but he hasn't just one already, so.
So what do you think you're ready for next hearing as far as your plans and stuff is about to go?
Give me something else, and I think Mike can stamp everything, so.
It's good. We're gonna see what Ray's gonna be doing.
Yeah, we can put them on the August meeting, and if there is a delay,
That's what we're looking at.
Guys, talking about vacations and things, you wanted to do maybe the tenth instead of the
Yeah.
third,
So I
seventeenth,
just said,
yeah. You guys wanna, let's
Guys,
make sure
just
that it's on the
Tenth and seventeenth,
You're away,
you're all right.
24th would be ideal.
third,
Third, I'm bored.
you
I
ready,
can't do the third,
24th?
I can do the 24th.
I could do 24.
Got it. So then we got it in that 24th. Okay, so we want to make a motion.
One
Well, I
more.
mean, I guess I was just saying, if you guys had any questions, I wanted to see what you guys thought, just, anything.
I have a question. And I don't know if this was discussed in the previous meeting or not, but were there any special conditions that were approved or waivers or anything as part of the initial approval that carry forward?
This will be brand new,
Okay.
with all new conditions. So no bearing on the previous, decisions, I'm not very,
Oh, yeah, I was only asking because you said it was exactly the same.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, the rest is small, it's in the exact same footprint, the building is different, it was all, where people do a office, or some windows, new doors, but from the site plan perspective, we decrease the footprint, and we pull part of the space away. So, and I think it's even on the school, the calculations the same too, even though it's footprint.
Any questions from the audience for that name and address?
Skip Wiganowski, 7 Edwards Landing. You said existing site plan, was that yours? Or was that?
He's bringing in.
We're bringing in a new one, but basically, we're using the same engine.
That's where I was going.
Yeah,
So you've done the drain water, the septic, the lighting, you've done all that stuff,
Yeah.
right?
yeah, Mike's doing all that. I mean, he did all of it just as a standard, so it's fun to come here, see if they had any questions or anything. But yeah, everything is, nothing is substantially changed.
And how do we get a hold of the site plan?
We'll submit them all to the town, but I mean, we're
No,
happy.
but I mean, to you.
Yeah, I'll be happy to. Have to send it
Sure.
over to you.
Else?
Me,
Name and address.
I was talking on Bay Street. How many, garage doors are you planning on coming with?
I think we're doing 5 garage doors in the back.
How many? The one garage door per space, and whether on the front and the back?
Basically, a couple of them don't have it, but, kind of figuring about, you have 4 sections, but one of them, probably makes 11, one out one, so make sure we have one in the back for each one.
Skip Wiganowski, 7 Edward. I forgot to ask you about the septic. Exactly.
Septic is, if you see where the drain basin is, it's going right in front of that. I think there is, if you look at another plan, it shows the septic plan on this.
You can come up and point that too.
I can get it back in the file. No. That one. What was the other plan on there, the septic? So that you can. Yeah, so that's how you. So this brings you so the septic is closed. Correct. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Questions? No. Anybody else from the audience? Like board members? Jason, you have anything?
Yeah, I guess looking at this, I was just curious, if Route 140 is on the right, is that
Yes,
right?
correct.
And I don't know if you have tenants identified other than your own business, but are there, the garage doors, most of them, would they be on the top or the bottom?
What are you gonna talk
Like,
about?
like the top of the plan or the bottom of the plan, either the right side or the left side of the building?
So they're on both sides, it's looking at the left side and the right side, and they stack down the whole, both sides. So I think we have on the far side, which is the soccer field side. We have 8 on that side, and we're putting 5 on backside where the building jogs.
Okay, and do you have tenants identified for those spaces at this point?
Me for the front one, my plumber for the second one, so that's basically half the building we're taking. And we're trying to find people for the second two.
Anything else, Jeff?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so one of the things that I was noting on the site plan is that presently that drive along the backside of the building is marked as emergency access drive. If you're including garage doors on the backside, it sounds like that's not an emergency access, but rather an active use.
Right.
Which is it?
Ideally, would like to, just be able to use it. We don't want it just for emergency. We don't plan on using much back there, but we would like to use it if we have to get out the back doors or anything like that.
Okay, so then
Primary use is the front side.
So then my subsequent question would then be that dashed curved line at the bottom there.
Yeah.
Is a 200-foot offset outlined in the bylaws that indicates that's a 200-foot buffer from residential use. That's to be used for no other purpose other than vegetation or screening. If we're using that for an access drive, that's another use than vegetation or screening.
From my understanding, I thought that was for a structure setback. I thought 100-foot was for.
The bylaw says for no other purpose. Now, I think with the previous set of plans where it remained a emergency access, that was something that we were willing to compromise on.
Okay.
Where, it's going to be like an active use type situation, that would present a concern to me.
You have it up right now to state I love it.
I can pull it.
If you don't have it right now.
It's Article 3, Section 301 C D.
Close
Oh,
enough.
I'm close enough.
That's good.
I've only recited it enough times. That was primary that I had.
So your primary concern, you don't want people driving back there, or is that?
My primary concern is part of the reason we've got those buffers there is to provide some, buffering versus the residential zone, which is nearby to this site. And so I want to make sure that if we are going to have a access back there, that would be emergency access versus active use. Out of respect for the residents in the area.
Which, Mr. Cutler, was the reason why I asked where most of the doors were and where most of the traffic would be, so as to be as sensitive to the abutters as we could be.
Right, yeah, so the doors are on the other side, we just wanted secondary access through those. We don't plan on using it, but if we had to use it, we could use it.
It's just in that delicate spot where it's, commercial meets residential.
Right.
It's always a difficult
Right.
scenario.
And
Frank,
You foresee the garage doors being used by the prospective tenants for any deliveries, 18-wheelers, supplies?
the
materials?
other side, it definitely could be delivery, but not this side, no. I think it would be amenable to for any type of shrouding or anything too, obviously, there's residential there, we'd be open to planting or fencing or anything like that too.
we have active garage doors with vehicles going in and out. You have a sand door separator and then
Within what?
sand door separator.
Yeah, I think we need that, so,
That on the plan.
I don't think it is.
So that's gotta be fine.
Okay. I think that's for the site plan review.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the time, Dan,
Can you put up the rendering showing the garage doors on that side of the building, please? And also, if there's gonna be vehicles parked inside the building, is when you need a water separator or the oil separator. If you're not gonna park any vehicles, just for storage, that's a different situation. That's why they're not on the plans that we. You don't plan on parking any trucks in there. So be it. I'm just curious of how the doors is that soccer field side?
That's a soccer field
Can
side.
you show the other side? Oh, I'm sorry, I see it on the.
Yeah.
Oh, top one is the Bay Street side, correct?
Correct.
So if there was, say, the first door might not be within that, well, I know that none of it's within the area. If there was something that needed to be done there with the garage doors on that side to eliminate one maybe, or something.
Yeah, we definitely can look to it.
I mean, I don't know whether, Mr. Hodge is going with it, but I'm just wondering if there's something, I know you like to have the doors cross breeze or
Yeah.
whatever. If you know you're not gonna do anything out there with it.
Yeah, I mean, would be, I mean, if the board has a problem with it, I mean, we'd be able to change some of it. So, you know, I mean, we want to work with you guys, so. And we, I mean, we don't plan to do anything with that, honestly, we're gonna come from the other side, you know, so.
It's just an opportunity to use the building itself as a buffer.
Right.
Right.
But like I said, I saw on the original site, I don't think they were calling for some plantings and buffers, and we gotta do something there too, so.
I saw the plan that you are calling this a common drive. Are you subdividing the actual sections of this building to sell each portion? Or are you renting out?
That's our plan, hopefully, but if we can, then we're gonna do, so, but yeah, we'd like to subdivide it.
So it'd be condos.
Yes.
And in the event of that eventuality, does that then necessitate any subsequent owner of each of those units come before the board for differing uses,
And,
depending?
yeah,
It depends on the uses, right?
yeah, certain uses will, they wouldn't have to come just because they're in a building that's over 10,000 square feet, but if it's a specific use that needs a special permit.
Right.
Yeah, they'll come to us.
So the 5 garage doors on the back side, of the corresponding garage doors on the front side of the building.
There is, and then there's more on the other side.
More on the other side.
Yeah, so everyone, it cuts right across. So they
And
all,
then the entire building. Access.
both problems break it up into those sections, you know, it's kind of a sprinkler system.
Just the concern is, you know, there's no real HVAC, you have to go by. That's gonna be just depending on what's in.
Yeah, I mean,
What about the site lighting in the back? Is that changed from the old plan?
from what I saw, it looked like they wanted certain low light, but we really don't care, you know, we want to make code for light, and we get invited to it, but we don't care about that. Whatever, people want something special, we just need to be building code, this is what we need, so, what we want. At spotlights, we don't care about any lighting back there, so it does be.
Just want to note from that previous decision that part of the conditions were to reduce the lighting height that was approved in the plan. So the condition was that revised plan was going to need to be submitted to reduce the lighting height from 16 feet to 12 feet on the southern side. And to include additional plantings as well. So just if we're talking about the old plan, if we're looking at those plans themselves, there is a condition that is different than what we see on those plans. But if we wanted to use that condition.
Good question.
Yeah, my question is, your hours of operation on the weekend, is that gonna interfere with the soccer and all that parking and all that stuff that's been happening over the last few years, utilizing that property?
I mean, it's our property, so we can't really back on it, but, I mean, we don't really work in the fun weekends. I mean, I'm not saying I may not be here and there, but, you know, we're a construction company. I mean, our office is during the weekdays, so for parking, I don't park on there, but that's, I think, they're being generous in that, but it's, yeah, it would be appropriate, I don't think we're going park there at the end of the day, just, I would assume, because we need the right of way going down there, so.
That's the thing.
Yeah, so, and honestly, we have time to the building, that's kind of,
EFC will have to figure it out.
yeah.
Anybody else?
Just as part of the next set of plans that we take a look at, I'd love to see a lighting plan and a landscaping plan.
Sure.
Anybody else? If not, I'll take a motion to,
Motion to continue the hearing for 35 Cape Road on August. August 24th,
6 P.M.
6 P.M. Sorry.
Have a second?
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Aye.
See you on the 24th, 6 o'clock.
Thank you.
Hopefully you have by then, Dre, get it all together and we can move forward.
Okay, all right, sounds good, thank you.
Sorry? Okay, we'll look at-
It would be follow the agenda, because it's a closed meeting before the rest of the events, so make sure you take them out of order.
Yep, all right, so I'm gonna go back to, Chair. All right, so we got an A&R application for Washington Street.
Smooth as sandpaper.
I think I'm moving small again.
If you want to take a bigger one, they're on the back.
Yeah.
Read the Mylar.
So this is, also.
Pretty Washington.
Oh, big. You want to take this one?
Maybe.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know, I kind of have that one here. It's an A&R plan, it can't be that difficult.
More than two sides of the- You're good.
Oh, you got it. Oh, you got it.
Can't see.
You got it.
I complete.
What do you want to say?
Just make an announcement that I'm gonna bother to the project.
So, so what do you, go ahead, sir.
Good evening, folks. For the record, Rob Knappich on behalf of Quirk Family Realty Trust. As you mentioned, this is a request to endorse this plan as approval not required under the subdivision control law. The plan divides approximately 19-acre parcel into parcel A and parcel B. Parcel A is still about 19 acres, a little less. Parcel B is about 6,000 square feet. To put the liberty of this kind of, I know you can see on your own plan, but for what it's worth, the entire property is both the yellow outlined area plus the orange colored small 5,000 square foot lot. So this plan creates that small orange 5,000.
So basically, that's all you're adding to this plan.
What's that?
All you're adding to this plan is that orange piece.
Yes, that's right. And that's going to be conveyed to, I was before you, you might recall, I think it was last fall, for a very similar plan.
Yeah.
And that similar plan created parcel that's shown as Hastings Street Plaza. And in fact, this orange parcel will be conveyed to that same entity. Connect.
You're taking that from Quirks and giving it to
Exactly.
Hastings.
Yes.
Okay, all
Convert.
right, I'm sorry.
Will convey to Hastings Street Plaza LLC.
I got you.
And is that buffer for the well?
Pardon?
Is that a buffer for the well?
That is a stone wall, yes. Is that the question?
I just wondered what the example was. I think the last one was here was this property here
Yes.
was for buffer for the well for the project.
Oh, yes,
I'm
that-
wondering if that's,
Ultimately, that is the purpose of this. Yeah, I think you asked the same question.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
Anybody have any questions?
I'm curious, does parcel A have access for right at the moment?
Yeah, I do.
Common ownership.
Oh.
For sure.
Oh, this is the New England, this is the New England Steakhouse property. It's just that it's probably cut out from the steakhouse here, right?
For vital access, usually a lot to have.
Yes, you always,
Actually-
this is whole thing is work.
Yeah, they have multiple,
New England Steakhouse is here.
Okay.
Work owns this, work owns that.
for common ownership, if for zoning, you can consider them to be the same parcel.
This is the statement right here.
They also have
Sorry.
access.
This is, no, this is the boat place. This is the steakhouse.
You got the entire town.
Well, I mean, I know everybody. I've been living here for 57 years.
That all?
Huh?
I said that all?
Yeah. Right, that's too much. All right, so I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. I mean, we're not doing anything crazy here as long as everybody's okay with it. We kind of know the intent of it, so. There a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the and after 30 Washington Street is something.
Zoning, they're supposed to be set and built.
Endorse.
Was
Job, Eric.
I had to side eye Dylan to make sure I was right.
Oh, you're good.
you want to sit over there?
Yeah.
Dylan and I are besties.
Then you want to be the admin? I think you should really be good with that. We can do both things.
We'll give you two.
Is there a second? All in favor?
All right,
Good, it's fine.
what we sign.
Abstain.
Want to call the ethics board again?
Or yeah, people that stay.
All right, you're all set. Thank you.
Even on day.
We'll sign it. You know what? I don't want to have any, we don't want to have any, we already have two of us calling the ethics board. I know. All right, thank you very much. We will, we'll do them both. Bay Street, A and R. What do we got? All right. No. I see what you got here. So basically, what are you doing? You got, I saw that you're doing some work there. You got that, that's an easement, right?
Right.
A right of way.
That was an easement right away, right, for Dory to 3 Great Street, which I own.
Yeah,
So I'm actually giving a piece of property in the back.
right. So to Sue and Steve, you're giving them a piece, you gave them this piece?
Correct.
Okay, so now you just want to they gave you that enough to do what they had to do over there, right? With what you had to do there.
Well, I have the right of way. The right of way was,
I'll just allow you to do it. I get it.
yeah,
Make like
they worked with me moving the easement, because the easement, back then, it used to go up against the stone wall. It used to
Stop.
do- Yeah, it did like 390s, going in left 90, going about 60 feet, another 90, 20 feet into another 90. So they worked with me, relocating the, right away,
Okay.
and for them working with me, I'm doing the second property.
Yeah.
And this is the right of way.
The right of way.
Street.
He used to own this here. Now he just owns this. And then you already conveyed that to them?
I'm doing it now. This is why I gotta come in and, come and tell you guys, and then as soon as I,
So we're gonna make this plan, you want this plan this piece of property right here is gonna be cut here.
Can you
yeah.
just point out the
Yeah, so this is my piece of, whole thing is on.
Yeah.
So this piece here, I'm giving to these guys. Yeah. So my right of way coming in through here, I own this whole piece.
If you don't mind just pointing it out on the monitor, then I won't ask you the exact same question.
Sure. Oh, you want the plan?
Well, I just can see what we're doing.
This is the piece from this corner here and here.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah,
I'm giving it this to the rights.
okay,
This whole piece here is my piece.
okay.
So it's like, I believe it's 1.4 acres that I'm giving to the rights.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
1.2,
1.2.
Yeah. and that's fine. There's no frontage on Edwin Road, so that doesn't even matter to them, right? So that's no big deal. You're just giving that the land.
So I'm sorry, I just don't understand. What does that have to do with the right of way that looks like it's kind of?
Because it's in their front yard, so to make them a little bit.
Oh.
Basically, that's their driveway and that's their front
I
yard.
misunderstood. I thought that belonged.
No.
The
Okay,
right of way belongs to me.
Yeah,
gotcha.
but if the right of way goes through their yard that they have groomed grass and it's half a
I
driveway.
used to go along the stone wall, if you
I
can see
got
those 390s. So all we did is we just shifted it over,
Okay,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
But did you go do, I know, I get what you did, but. How are we're doing an A&R plan for this lot,
Right,
because you're cutting this off, correct? So now you're gonna go in the future and give this to them,
yeah,
or come in the future and give.
right, they're,
Okay, that's what I just wanted to make sure. So what we're doing right now is approving this piece being cut off from that, minusing 1.2,
Okay.
approving this plan.
Got it.
So it's a
Everybody,
larger parcel that's being.
smaller,
It's separated into the two.
yeah, so basically. He's separating this
Yeah.
from this.
Yeah.
This is gonna go to them after we do this.
Yeah.
They'll come back in for that.
All right.
Does that sound?
So the rights will come in and do the same thing.
Correct, or yeah, they'll have to come in, or you'll come in and they'll join that together. Unless they're gonna keep it separate, whatever they're gonna do, but it'll be in their name.
Okay,
Okay, so they're gonna have to do something with that down the road.
right,
All right.
so they're probably gonna, that's what I'm gonna do now. Gonna have them, like.
Yeah, you could convey that to them for $1 or whatever you wanna do, but you do that with your attorneys.
Right.
And then you have to come back, or they can come back in, however you guys wanna work it, and join that piece of property with theirs, if that's what they wanna do. Either way, you have to put that in their name, that's it. Right? Does that sound right, Fran?
Once they own both of them.
It doesn't matter if they put them, they don't have to actually join it, right?
They don't have to join the parcels, they'll own us two separate deeds, instead of two separate parcels.
Right, but that's up to them.
Is your intention with the right of way to build a single family lot in the back,
Yes.
just one lot? House lot? I grew up in that house practically, not so.
Oh, no kidding. So you know it.
Pool is there.
Yeah, gun night pool,
Yeah,
Schubert,
okay, yeah.
Roseanne and Paul Schubert built that house.
Yes, that was actually, they married into Molinari family, correct?
Maybe on Schubert's. Not on side,
What was your aunt's?
the Antonio.
Okay, yeah.
Because-
Slave from somebody.
where did that house come from? Molinari?
The land was all Molinari's, it was 10 and a half acre lot.
Was that little house that you sold?
No, that little house was nothing to do with that.
Oh, no shit,
No, so it's Steve's house, White's house, which is 15 Bay Street.
yeah,
That used to be all one piece of property back in 1951, right? And then they subbed out an acre and a half to build your aunt's house, Schubert's house, right? On a 1.5 acre lot, and that became 15 Bay Street. And then all the rest of the other land, they automatically gained 43 Bay Street. That's the address I got now.
but the house that you had in front,
Has nothing to do with
it
that.
had nothing to do with it.
No, that was, I bought that, that was actually. Well, he's a Mendon, police officer, I forget his name.
Oh, no kidding,
He used to live there for the longest time.
no shit, that's cool.
Forgive that statement, that's got nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
With my property and Steve's.
We're all
property were
one and
all
one.
one, that's why they left that easement to get back in them.
Uh-huh.
Back in 1950s, there was no zoning laws, right? So this is the way they did back then, okay, you got an easement, get in. You're all set, you know?
Make a motion to endorse the A&R for 43 Bay Street. So,
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi,
Thank you.
thank you.
You wanna we'll sign these, you wanna take them with you?
Sure.
And you're okay with that? All right, so
my sixth grade teacher.
Oh, yeah. We were telling you about,
They right on.
You need to stand for it.
You don't need me to do these stamps at all?
Yeah, you-
On the paper?
How long have you been down there?
It goes to the registry.
Six? Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, so my, I believe my uncle built that house to ranch.
Yeah.
And that had been a big one because my mother, in-law, my in-law's house.
Christine.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
That's where you, that's that, you gotta sign these. too.
Yeah. That's why they just left the fact of time that, you know, valuable and do that. Yeah, we used to play in the backyard, it's all overgrown fields. in the back. And Steve bought that house, and I didn't close it. And I went to high school, so we did the closing, I said to him, do you know, this house? My own. So we had always had that connection, and I haven't been back yet, but
Can you guys close
that
the
pool
meeting?
in the back.
Close the meeting?
Construction.
We close the meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.